African Union, United Nations, and Ecowas delegation head to Niger for talks. Can you imagine? I think say they won't go do show of power. Okay, so the AU, the UN, the ECOWAS, all the delegations have been put together heading to Niger now for dialogue. Let them go and dialogue. The fact remains that the military junta or the Coupists in Niger have refused to meet with them, and there's nothing they can do about it. Simple. Okay, the U.S. Shadow Secretary of State went there, and she was not attended to by the Coupists. Rather, the Coupists decided to delegate some military officers to talk with her, and from there she went back. Okay, the so-called high-power delegation of ECOWAS from Nigeria, set up by Tinubu, went there. They couldn't even see any of them. They went and came back humiliated, and nobody could talk with them. So after the 7 days ultimatum issued to them by ECOWAS has passed, now ECOWAS remain dumb. They don't know what to do next. Right now, they're concluding they are going to go and discuss, according to the people. Let them not go there peacefully, and they will see how dangerous it will be. Now that it is observed that Niger has secured the support of what is his name, the military team in Russia. Okay, there's nothing they can do about it. It will turn to Third World War. That is it. A delegation consisting of the representatives of the African Union, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the United Nations will on Tuesday travel to Niger to meet with coup leaders. French broadcaster RFI reported that the delegation is set to arrive in the Nigerian capital, Niamey, city of Niamey, in the coming hours to hold talks with the rebels on behalf of the international community. But I learned Niger has closed their airspace, so how are they going to land there? That is another key thing we need to understand. The move was to restore the country's disbanded institution, the broadcaster reported. So according to the broadcaster, the Nigerian government had also boasted that Nigeria could provide more than half of the 25,000 troops for the invasion of Niger if necessary, citing a Nigerian official. So it added that the military from Senegal, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire could also participate in the operation. On 26 July 2023, a coup d'etat occurred in Niger when the country's presidential guard detained President Mohamed Bazoum and Presidential Guard Commander General Abdulrahman Tichani proclaimed himself the leader of the new military junta. The Presidential Guard thereby closed the country's borders, suspended state institutions, and declared a curfew. This was the fifth military coup d'etat since the country gained independence from France in 1960, and the first since 2010. On 6th of August, 57,000 soldiers were counted among the Portuguese and 245,000 on the ECOWAS side, with France refusing to intervene. Okay, so so with what is happening now, or with the expiration of the 7 days ultimatum ECOWAS issued to Niger Republic, and Niger remaining defiant, the United Nations, the ECOWAS, and the African Union leaders have decided to now go today, Tuesday, for dialogue with the Coupists. But let's see how that will go. We're going to monitor all of that through, because we know that the people are ready for war and there's nothing they can do about it. And going for war is not the military that will suffer, actually, because they are combatants that are trained. It's only the civilians there that will suffer. And the civilians there that will suffer are also in support of the military coup. So there's nothing anybody can do about it, which means that they don't want that democratic system of government, because it's not helping them. And that is what the West is using to exploit Africa as a whole. It seems that by democracy, they continue to influence and control the government of Africa. And Africans are obviously tired of all of that. This is a very serious one now. And we just hope that these people called the West or the African Union will just behave themselves. Somebody say waste of time and money. Exactly. It's a waste of time and money going to Niger to discuss. The thing is that the coup has taken place in Burkina Faso and in Mali, and all of these years there was nothing both ECOWAS, AU, United Nations, or anybody could do about it. So the same way Niger Republic is going to go, they will not listen to anybody, and I will not be surprised if the military coupist or the current head of state of Niger will even attend to the United Nations. He will not attend to them. He will still delegate a few military officers to go and talk with them and send them back from there. That is how it's going to happen, I'm sure. Somebody say, where they, okay, when, what is this man right now? When Nigeria was heading towards the confusion we found ourselves now, okay? Where were they when Nigeria was heading towards the confusion we found ourselves now? I understand what this guy is trying to write. Where were the African Union, the ECOWAS, the United Nations, when Nigeria was heading to where we are now through a democratic coup by way of rigging election done by Tinubu? Where were they? Because they are benefiting from the African misrule, they didn't say anything. Now the people of Niger have taken their fate by their hands, have made a decision, they want to go and intervene. It's all waste of time. I don't see any result there. Nothing is going to happen. I'm pretty sure of that. Nothing is obviously going to happen. Somebody said, what is the mission of UNAU going to do in Niger Republic? The people are happy with the new government and they should be left alone to govern themselves. Exactly. That is what they want and nobody should interfere. Africa is not mature for democracy. Let the military continue. Bagam, just like some people are already saying. Africa is not mature for democracy, and the Western world know that Africa is not mature for democracy. That is why they are using democracy to, to plunder Africa. Okay, the head of the ECOWAS, Mr. Tinubu, was unconstitutional and illegally placed as a president of Nigeria. The head of the ECOWAS, Mr. Tinubu, was unconstitutional and illegally placed as a president of Nigeria. Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and now Niger, the leaders were all illegally imposing themselves on their citizens. So due to mismanagement, uncontented greed and corruption, Africa can never solve their problems. These greedy and unelected leaders want war in order to remain in power. Allow the United Nations to come and help us. Life is give and take. We can't do without them, and they can't do without us. Let's put racism aside and reach a better agreement. This one a story. You don't understand that these people, the Western world can never come into your country if they don't have any interest in it. That is it. Somebody could have made some sense, but saying Tinubu was illegal and unconstitutional shows you are talking from the angle of your candidate not winning election. Can you imagine? Therefore, your comment can't be taken serious. So this must be a Tinubu supporter. That is what I see there. Somebody say you are the one that is not sincere. Is Tinubu not a certificate forger? Did Yakubu Mahmoud not rig the election for him? Those are the things that are being contested in the court right now. So why are we talking as if Tinubu is illegal there in the office? That is the truth. Again, the world should let people lead themselves, okay? Because democratic system of government is not working for us. Somebody say, hypocrite leaders, put your households in order first before going to disgrace yourself in Niger. Can't you blind leaders see that the masses are very happy about the military intervention in that country? Exactly. The people are happy with themselves and with the military coup, and they remain happy. So anybody going there is wasting time. All these so-called AU, United Nations, and ECOWAS, where were they when democratically elected president of Niger Republic nearly killed and impoverished Nigerians? None. They didn't show face. Exactly. The so-called democratic president in Niger had been very brutal to the people, almost like a democratic dictator. The hypocrites should rather talk of interim government, bringing back the former president and his government will not hold. Exactly. Somebody say, why? He was elected by the people, but then the people have rejected him as well. So there is nothing they can do about that. let them be. So that is what is happening. The United Nations, the African Union, the Ecowas, and the rest of them are heading to Niger to hold dialogue with the Coupists in Niger. But I think the same way the Coupists treated the Nigerian and the ECOWAS envoy, the same way they treated the shadow Secretary of State from the United States, is the same way they will treat these people today. I am pretty sure of that. Let's have your take on that, even as we continue to monitor the delegations movement in Niger Republic.